Welcome to JJ Liberman's GoonCast, the greatest podcast for elite losers. Nobody's complaining about the long title. And that's it. After months of doing this, 5 months of podcasting, we finally settled on the name. And we'll probably change it again. But anyways, here we are. I'm telling you, back in Texas, and you're like, this place is great. I have more space than I could even imagine. More comfort than I could imagine. The weather's nice. I'm watching my YouTube on my television. How great, this is how stupid I was. When I had my own place in Las Vegas, so that also had money then, but then I lost it all in crypto. I had a TV, and I didn't realize that you could connect the computer, YouTube, to the television. So I would watch every night. I just had this TV, and I lived there for 8 months. I would have this TV mounted on the wall, and I never turned it on once. My buddy comes over. He goes, bro, why don't you just hook your computer up to the TV? Brought me the cord, and I was like, game changer. But now you don't even need a cord. You just go on your phone, sign in on the TV, and holy shit. Incredible. I also don't watch TV. I have, I don't know if this happens to you. I am in a space where I tried watching Severance. I was in Miami last week, and Che's like, dude, you gotta watch Severance. Have you watched Severance?
I just finished it last night.
Okay. So, we were talking about this. And, my problem is I love being on my phone too much. I'll watch 20 minutes, and then I love whatever nerds have programmed this, because they programmed it on purpose. Like, what I'm saying? There was like a time 15 years ago, you had to just stop making fun of nerds. There was like some bill that was passed, zero tolerance. Don't put people in, like, I'm an 80s child. You used to put people in lockers. I've seen the inside of a locker. Other people saw inside of the lockers. We would wedgie people. We would do atomic wedgies. This is in high school. We're in grade 8, and people are getting their underwear ripped up, or grade 9. Their underwear atomic wedgied, and they're going home with, now you'll go to jail for sexual harassment because you wedgied some trans chick. Like, let's be honest. If wedgies were going around now, they would be going after the trans people. Like, isn't that you'll in the 90s and 80s, nerds, and then I think what created zero tolerance, it must have been Columbine, but because people were vicious. But now, like, if trans people existed, then, oh, dude, they would have been I would have stepped in because I'm a good person and I'm always on the right side of history. But if trans people were around, they were around, just not at my high school or any other high school I heard of, because you would know. Like, that's the other thing. Before we had the internet, you would know. People would tell you, like, oh, this is what's going on at my school. You're like, really? You're like, oh, yeah, there was a teacher sleeping with a kid. You're like, really? It was like, oh, the one time my buddy told me up in a suburb of Toronto that one of the mothers was an escort. I've talked about this before. But this was like 5 schools north of me. And it was a well-known thing from every school in the greater Toronto area that some dude, I don't know who the dude was, but his mother was a professional whore. Everyone loved it. So you're telling me if wedgies are going around and people know that at Thornlea there's a chick with a dick, first, you're gonna want to see the underwear, first of all. Are you wearing panties? And someone's wedging that chick and they're loving it. Like, they're beating their meat after it. Anyways, this is a little too crazy. But, I don't even know how I got on this subject. Oh, right. It's nice. TVs. So my whole point of Texas is fucking cockroaches. You can't do, we're just talking, you can't do nothing about them, right?
No.
Cleanest place in the world, no? Like, if your house apartment was clean, mine's like whatever, but if you have the cleanest apartment in the world, you think they still exists?
Yeah, I think they go inside for like a moisture avoiding temperature shit, not like snacks.
Oh,
You know,
really?
I think that's what you normally think of bugs. It's always they're getting away from weather because it's so aggressive
Yes,
here.
weather. Yeah, they don't like the weather.
Yeah, I don't know. They're fucking disgusting. I used to get them on the 3rd floor, which
Ugh.
I don't even understand how they make it up there.
Oh, dude, man, when I walked in 3 in the morning, so that was my point. This is where I left off. 3 in the morning, I get done watching. I watch this airplane. I watch a lot of airplane channels, and most of them cover like crashes and stuff like that, or pilots who are not doing their job. They tell you all the information, you know, because I fly every weekend. I don't want to fly in comfort. I want to be like, you know, pain struck, because I know inside, like once you know the inside baseball, they're like, it is the safest mode of transportation. It really is, but a lot of shit happens and breakdown and stuff like that, you know. But it still is the safest mode of transportation. But guys are like, you know, engines are going out, you know, throttles are happening too hard to one side. They're taking out the cones, shit in the wings. So I watch all that stuff for some reason. So I get done 3 a.m. I go to the bathroom, and I heard the steps, like, you know, from Chucky. It was like Chucky was in my bathroom. I heard that, and I looked over. This thing was bigger than a softball. I swear to God. So immediately I have this, like, natural pest spray. I'm spraying it, and it's surviving, and my eyes are burning because it's peppermint. And I'm like, literally 3 a.m. My eyes are burning. I finally get it. It crawls under the toilet seat, and then it went into the bowl, and I guess it died of death. And I flushed it, and I kept on flushing. And then I run all my taps on. What my theory is, they come in through the pipes. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. They come in through because I constantly am on my hands and knees cleaning the floor with vinegar spray. Whatever that is, the Aunt Annie's all-purpose vinegar cleaner. I constantly am literally on my hands and knees cleaning, and then I saw this thing and I'm fucking unbelievable. And then I obviously message the condo board, and they're like, "Oh, they came in to spray. It takes a couple weeks." Yeah, right. Couple weeks. Let me tell you something. This is like saying an atomic bomb goes off and nobody. Yeah, they're all fucking dead, right? I guess then the further out you go, they die later. But anyhow, so that happened. That was annoying. But other than that, it seems the world's kind of falling apart. Like, as not an intelligent guy, I'm watching Douglas Murray right now debate Rogan and Dave Smith on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Douglas Murray says, well, a lot of you will just say, I'm no expert, I'm a comedian, and then have like a aggressive point. You're like, yeah, that's the benefit of doing comedy for 15 fucking years in obscurity. You get to a point where people will listen to you, and then if you say something crazy, you're like, well, I'm a comic. I put in the time to earn that right. I put in the time to become successful at this, so I can say some crazy, racist, bigoted rant, or misogynistic, or transphobic, like wedging the person in high school because she has a penis, and then fall back on, but I'm a comic, baby. That's what we've done the grind for, dummies. To have that right, to fall back on, you know, well, what do I really know? I'm a jester. So, but that is true. So as a comic, it does seem like the world's falling apart. Everyone hates everyone in the U.S. I do like this as someone who grew up in Toronto. Did you know about Rob Ford?
No, I've never heard of him.
He was the mayor of Toronto who was smoking crack.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of him. Yeah,
oh.
yeah, I know who he is.
So let me bring you back to the 2015s, I think it is. 2012. What can you just see when Rob Ford was doing around? Rob Ford smoked crack. Here's my favorite moment in late night television history.
He was in office from 2014 to 2016, it says.
And then he died.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, like right after.
So this is how out of touch people are. So Rob Ford who everyone made fun of for being the smoking crack. He smoked crack. Was loved by I was walking my dogs by his funeral. There's a big church that they have the big funerals at, where I used to live in downtown Toronto. And the people that love Rob Ford, the people who make fun of him were the whites. The people who loved him were the minorities, because he's a populist mayor. And so when he got caught smoking crack, man, did they drag his name through the mud. Maybe more cities would be more fun if the mayor smoked crack. Toronto, great when they had a crack smoking mayor. Now, sucks. His brother's the mayor, though, too, Doug Ford, so I don't know what that is. But, yeah, so, and I remember it was the biggest thing, the news cycle lasted more than 12 minutes in 2014, and they made fun of him to the point where they even brought him Jimmy Kimmel. Goofball, funny guy, late night host Jimmy Kimmel brought him on and made fun of him and would poke fun at Toronto and poke fun at Rob Ford. And now let's roll the clock forward. And Jimmy Kimmel doesn't like his head of state, but he's not laughing. It's no laughing matter to Jimmy Kimmel. He goes on TV and cries like a and complains. Do you think we could get demonetized from that?
I think you're fine. We're after.
Could you mute that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Cries like a mute that one too. Could you imagine that you live in a country where your late night entertainment host, former host of The Man Show, Jimmy Kimmel, is going on TV crying about the president? Boo-hoo! You baby! You suck! What the fuck's going on? That's why the country stinks sometimes. It's because our entertainment is like, did you ever see when the five of them, the late night hosts, did the podcast together during COVID?
No.
You should check this out. Yeah, it was. So they were going to they did a coalition. So these are the most, what you would assume. Could you imagine if David Letterman, Jay Leno, and I forget who the other person was at the Carson Daly, and I think it was the British guy. I forget his name. If they all came together and did one show on TV in the 90s and 2000s, they would break television that night. Mm-hmm. These five guys, Seth Meyers, and let me just say one thing. Couldn't give a fuck to get on late night TV. Couldn't care to do a 5-minute set on NBC. Oh, really? Can I do a 5-minute set to, oh, please? I would do Saturday Night Live hosting, but I don't think I'm in the cards. I don't think I'm in the running. Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel, the guy who danced about the COVID vaccine, Colbert, and I forget, Jon Stewart, I think it was. They did a podcast, a Zoom podcast, and nobody watched it. The five, and don't get me wrong, a lot of these guys are super talented, but not in that. Like, they're like, Jimmy Kimmel was a funny actor when he was like a character actor. I think that's what he was. Or not Jimmy Kimmel, sorry. Fallon, that stinker. I think he could play like a role, but they stink.
They called themselves the Strike Force 5.
And who was it?
It was Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon,
Stinker.
Jimmy Kimmel,
Stinks.
Seth Meyers,
Stinks.
John Oliver.
Stinks. Again, and they couldn't. And when I say they're talented people, at one time of their career, maybe at the beginning when they're doing like improv, I would say they're talented. They're obviously some level of talent. I don't think they're talented. I don't think they're as talented as comics. They're not comedians. They could say they are. They have writers. I think Bill Maher's more. I think Bill Maher's much more entertaining and talented than they are. And there's a lot of people who don't look at him as a comedian. But those guys, John Oliver, I actually hate some of the Brits that come to America then shit on America. I hate that. Then go back to your fucking open border country, you piece of shit. Fix your teeth too. I don't know if he has bad teeth. I have bad teeth. But I never understood that, why Americans like that. Some guy with a accent coming to America, shitting on America. Then suck my dick and leave. You chose to be here. I'm Canadian. I love America. I'm not shitting on America. There's a lot of fat fucks. You're fat. You're fat. But I love you. I don't shit on it. I think it's great. I think it's great that you could eat 2 pounds of chicken wings and wash it down with a shot of Ozempic. It's beautiful. That makes this country great. But the people that come here that are immigrants that shit on it and they have roles in TV, it's how stupid people are. If someone ever came to my house and started shitting on me, get the fuck out. I don't want you here. I want to hear your and then they had an accent. You don't even sound like me. And you're coming in my place with your dumb fucking accent, telling me that I have cockroaches because my dog food? Well, my dogs make me happy. Anyways, my whole point was I feel the country's falling apart. Now, in a good way. Like nobody agrees with anyone. And then the last thing, and then we'll get out of here. I don't think the country. Frye Fest, Fyre Fest 2. Did you see that?
No.
Fyre Fest.
Yeah.
The guy's back doing Fyre Fest 2. Guts fucking hanging out. I was icing my nuts. Billy McFarland, Fyre Fest 2. And he's charging anywhere from $1,400 to $25,000. And people will pay for this because this is how I'm an influencer, so I could have actually an expert opinion on this. This is how desperate influencers are. They just need to be seen in Tulum. Like an influencer, just so desperate, they'll pay so much money to go to this thing that will stink. Although everyone's like now fighting back on him, saying nobody's going to go. But there are people. This is what people don't understand about the influencer community. We are desperate. We will sell out for anything. Anything. I make front-facing videos talking about being a perv for anything. So there's so many people that will go. I actually don't think, not to this, might as well just go to Vegas pool party, but it is crazy that he's out there, back there.
Yeah, well, I was reading it says, too, that there's a concern because, like, the only permit he has is that he said there'd be 1,800 people and 40 live acts. The permit that he has is for 250 people with no live music.
And he also said he's not announcing who's the performers.
He said he originally said March, and now it's April, and he said he's not going to.
It is crazy, though. We do this again. This is what makes America great. We live in a place where some absolute shyster, huckster, snake oil salesman can screw over people, go to jail, and come back and say, "Hey, we're doing it again." It's Peter Popoff, the televangelist. Anyways, I am out. I just came on I don't know if you can see my head. My dog's behaved. Thor, you were good. You're going to get a treat for that. Come here. You're good. Yeah. You get a well-behaved podcast treat for the dogs. Anyways, I say anyways too much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the new subscribers and followers. We almost at 1,000 on YouTube from last week. We are almost a third of what happens once you become monetized. You make what? 10 cents a video?
Yeah, we'll make like 8 cents an episode.
No.
I mean, I heard it's not great money.
Still cool. Anyways, Brandon LeJohn, JJ Liberman. This is the GoonCast. We'll do it again next week. Baby!